Hey, Dwayne, can you hear me? Dwayne? Dwayne? Can you hear me, Dwayne?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
My
Can you
speaker's
hear me?
on, but I can't hear you.
Turn your...
Hello? Yeah, it's up all the way. Yeah. Oh, I just heard something. I don't know who that was. Okay, I got you.
You got me?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, everybody can hear me then now.
Yes, let it rock.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me tell you a little bit about myself first. I've been in real estate for the better part of 20 years. I've worked my first year in the business. I sold $7 million in real estate. At that time, I was with ERA, and I was on a 50-50 split with them. So anyway, I left them after a couple years, and I went to Realty Executives, and that company had over 98 agents, or I'm sorry, they had 98 agents, and so I became their #1 agent within 6 months there. And I'm not telling you that to brag, but just to tell you how dedicated I am to real estate. And the thing is, I opened my own company. I got my brokerage license about 10 years ago. I opened my own company a little over 8 years ago, called it Axiom Realty Group. And I was very successful. We did about $30 million a year in volume. We have 3 offices down in Port St. Lucie, Boca area, Ormond, and Palm Coast. And I was approached several times by several different companies, Remax being one and Keller Williams being another. Realty Executives did approach me, and I did talk to the folks at Watson. And what I was told by them, I was already doing for my agents. And I opened my company because I wanted to help agents succeed. If you've been in real estate for any length of time, you've heard the saying that 90% of the real estate is sold by 10% of the agents. So, you can't believe that the 90% of the agents out there want to fail. So what I found is that companies were either A, providing the tools without the training and the support, or they were providing you the training without the tools and the support. And that's what I liked about this company, because when they started showing me what they were all about, I realized that this company was offering me something that could help me help my agents even more than I already was doing. And that's why one of the biggest reasons I decided to come on board. And so what I'm about to show you, everything I'm going to tell you in this presentation is factual, okay? And the company and myself, we do not want to exaggerate anything. We are going to talk straight with you, and we're going to show you, especially at the end of this presentation, I'm going to show you realistic numbers so you can know what to expect out of the company, okay?
Okay.
So the name of the company is called eXp Realty, and we are an agent-owned cloud brokerage. We are technology-based. So what is a cloud brokerage? Basically, you can do business anywhere, anytime you have the internet. It gives you freedom. And absolutely everything that you need to do business and be very successful is at your fingertips here on the cloud. Dwayne, if you want to unmute your microphone, if you have any questions, you can just ask, okay?
Okay, no problem.
All right. So what this does, you guys, you understand that all we have to sell in this world is our time. And unfortunately, we have limited time to sell on a daily basis. So the time that we use to build our business, we want that time to be well spent. We don't want to have to waste time. When I get at a stop sign, or a stoplight rather, that's red, and I don't see any car for miles, it really bugs me to have to sit there. I don't know if you guys feel that way or not, but I really don't like wasting my time. And because it's so precious, for all of us, it really is. So, that's why, another reason why I came on board with eXp. eXp started out because Mr. Sanford, the founder of the company, realized that there was some things taking place in the world that was going to change the way people did business, and the internet was a huge part of that. Now, I'm sure you all know the company Blockbuster. They were a $6 billion a year industry. They had a lot of brick and mortar buildings, a lot of overhead, but they were very popular. Shoot, I went to Blockbuster every week. And then this other gentleman came up and started thinking about this new program where he could stream videos directly to the consumer. And I'm sure you know the name of that company, called Netflix. Well, the owners of that company approached Blockbuster and said, hey, why don't you join us? We'd love to have you. This is our idea. We think that we can do this for the consumer, and so they can have their entertainment right there in their home without having to leave their home, and they can do it at a fraction of the cost. Well, Blockbuster, of course, they said no. They didn't believe that the technology would take off the way it has, and we all know what happened to them within 3 years' time. Some of the other things that you may remember are vinyl records and cassettes going to the iPod, or Uber Taxi, the Uber program with taxis, or the Airbnb. The report last year for Airbnb stated that Airbnb booked more rooms than all of the resorts combined, and so that's a huge thing, and it's due to technology now. The technology is really going crazy. We saw some things on the news last night. I'm not going to go into it, but it's like, my God, amazing things are happening out there over the next 5 years in regards to technology. And if you all are not familiar with the magazine Inman, you should get yourselves familiar with it. It's a very strong real estate magazine, and it talks about all kinds of things. But they've done several articles on us. It's a very expensive magazine.
What is the name again?
Inman.
Could you repeat that?
I'll type it down here, okay?
Okay.
Inman.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, it's like $80 for the magazine. But I tell you, the articles in there are phenomenal. Now, they said that we are at the tip of the sword as far as technology and the way that real estate is moving to. So we are the first in the industry to do what we are doing, and we're doing it in a big way. So you guys, you ever go and get yourself a cell phone, right?
Sure.
And how long does it take before that cell phone is, um, no longer the best one on the market?
6 months.
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes, right? Right.
Awesome.
So, that's what happens with technology. What we find is that technology advances very rapidly. So we want to work for a company that not only can afford to do the technology upgrades continuously, but has the desire to do the technology upgrades continuously. And when you're working with a company that has a ton of overhead, that makes it a lot harder for them to do that. Because let's face it, technology is not cheap. And the better it gets, it seems like the more expensive it gets in some cases. But especially when it deals with sales. So, EXP is a debt-free company, and we don't have the overhead of the other big companies like RE/MAX, Keller Williams, Watson Realty, etc. So when things get better, this company is right there ready to feed it to their agents, and it's real exciting. And the fact that they do what they do for us and provide us the tools that they provide at the fees that we pay is amazing to me. And I can tell you that because the tools that they provide, I've actually been using some of them for over 5 years, and I pay a lot more for it. And I'm going to show you that in just a moment. So, sorry about that. All right. So, why are agents from these companies flocking to eXp Realty? And the biggest reason is the 4 disruptors that we have. And the first one being that we are a cloud-based real estate company. As I said, you do business anywhere. And we have all of our training, 25 hours a week of live training right here on the cloud that you can do from the comfort of your own living room. Okay? And we don't have the top agent in a given office or in a given company doing the training. We have the top agents in the country doing our training. One of them called Brad Anderson. He trained the top agents in the country from the Zillow Academy. This gentleman, agents would pay hundreds of dollars and travel to go see him. Well, he now is a member of our company, and he does a lot of our training for us on a weekly basis. The gentleman is phenomenal. And when you hear him, you'll find out. I mean, he's really, really intelligent, and he knows what he's talking about. Another gentleman that does a lot of our training, his name is Corcoran, Bob Corcoran. He was with Corcoran Consulting. I'm sure you've heard of Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank. This is a relative of hers. His name's Bob, and he owns a big Corcoran Consulting out of New York. And I actually used their services for 2 years. I paid them to train me and train my agents. Extremely expensive. Okay, for that training course for 2 years, it cost me $25,000 to do that for all of my agents in my office. Okay, so it's not cheap, and the fact that we have these people at our disposal is phenomenal. The second disruptor is that we provide a revolutionary lead generation system to all of our agents. And this lead generation system would cost you thousands of dollars a year to own it yourself. And if you had to go out and buy it yourself, even without the leads themselves, it would cost you thousands of dollars a year. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The third disruptor is we're an agent-owned company. We're a publicly traded company on the stock market over the counter. And you can buy our stock publicly. The ticker symbol is EXPI. But the company allows you to buy stock another way where they'll take a portion of your commissions and purchase stock in their company at a 5%, at a 20% rather, 20% discount. You can do anything you want with that stock right then and there. So, I mean, it's really cool. Just to give you an example, last month I closed enough real estate to include $650. What they did is took 5% of my gross closings, which was $650 last month, and they purchased stock from me. Had I sold that stock right then and there, I would have made $210. So where can you take $650 and make $210 instantly? You know, that's a pretty good return on your money. We're not talking about a lot of money there, but over time, it's going to add up to some big money to help you build a nice retirement. Okay, the fourth disruptor is that we have an unparalleled revenue sharing program. We call our program revenue sharing and not profit sharing because we don't take, what Keller Williams does is they'll take the total profit of the company, cut it in half, give half of it to the owners of the company, and split the other half among the agents depending on their performance for the year. We base our profit, our share to our agents on the total revenue of the company. And because we are debt-free with very, very little overhead, you can imagine what that is. It amounts to about 80 times what you would make if you were a Keller Williams agent. And I don't want you guys to think that that Keller Williams is a bad company. It's a great company, and Gary Keller is a brilliant man. I've read his book, The Millionaire Agent. I based a lot of the training that I did with my agents in Axiom Realty Group on his book, among others. And so I don't at all want to take away from him or his company. The facts are, though, that with his overhead that he has, it makes it very, very difficult. Actually, it makes it impossible for him to do what we do for our agents. So, okay, let's move on. This is our training campus. And you can literally go anywhere in these buildings and you'll go from class to class. So it's like being at a big college campus. And when you first sign on, first of all, you're going to sign on, you're going to be an avatar just like this. And you can interact with these people. And these people are all live, okay? So what you do when you first sign on, this is where you appear. Now, guys, I understand at first this is going to be a little awkward, but believe me, after you use this 3 or 4 times, you're going to get this in a big way. It's really going to hit home with you. So every day I come in every morning and I sign on the cloud and I come here and I turn and I look at the day's events. Remember, I told you we do 25 hours a week of live training. So this is the schedule, and it tells you what's being taught, what time it's being taught, in what classroom, the location that it's being taught in. Okay? So let's say that you saw a class that was being held in the auditorium. You would simply go up here to the go-to button, click on that button, which this isn't live, so I can't do it, but I'm going to show it to you after the presentation. You click on it, and you'll see auditorium. You just click on that. It zaps you right in there, like Star Trek. Okay? So this is our auditorium. And that happens to be Brad Anderson right there on stage, getting ready to teach a class. Wilco here is the gentleman that showed me eXp Realty. And as you can read up here at the top, whoops, you can see over 25 hours of live weekly training. Okay? Now, Wilco has been involved with eXp for a year. He was a professional soccer player. Okay? And he's from Holland, and he came over here, and a gentleman by the name of Rob Flick approached him and said, they knew each other for a while, and said, hey, you really should think about getting your real estate license because I just got involved in this new company. Now, Rob Flick came from Keller Williams, and so did Gene Fredericks. And Rob Flick joined us about a year and 3.5 months ago. His revenue share check last month was $48,000. Okay? Gene Fredericks' revenue share check was over $60,000. Now, Wilco does not sell any real estate. He's starting to now. So all he's done in the last year is he's brought on 23 agents. In that time, his last revenue share check last month was $8,400. His next check is probably going to be somewhere around $15,000, and I'm going to tell you why. I'll show that to you, explain why in a little while, okay? All right. So here's Wilco standing out in front of Agent Services, and this is transaction team here, and over here in the corner is accounting. And we have a lot of other areas too. By the way, if you have a virus on your computer, you can go to our tech department and they'll take control of your computer and fix your computer for you. Only if it's fixable. Sometimes if the virus is too major, you have to have somebody physically put a program on it to clean it up. But if it's fixable, they're going to do it for you, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's part of your tech package. Okay. This is the inside of Agent Services, and there's over 55 full-time employees throughout the cloud that are here strictly to help you if you have any questions. So this is where you would come if you have questions regarding your business. So you walk in here and you can talk to Joshua or Denise, and they will give you the answers that you need. And what's cool about it is you don't have to wait for me as a managing broker or the Florida broker or anything else. You can just come here instantly and get the answers that you need. Another area is transaction desk. So you go there if you write a contract and you have a question on how should I word something, or you know, how do I do this with the contract, or what form do I need? That's where you go, and those folks will help you with that. And at the end of the presentation, we're going to go on this program live, and I'm going to walk into those two departments and actually give us an opportunity to hear from them what they do for us, okay? All right. What is the Cloud Office? We've talked about it. It allows for real-time interaction with top professionals around the world. And I want you guys to really absorb that sentence, because that's big, to be able to do that instantly, okay? You know, if you want to know how to do something, and you know, the best teacher is being taught by somebody that's done it already and succeeded with it, right? So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you talk to people that's been there, done that, and they've been very successful. So they're going to teach you how to do those things. And that's the benefit of this Cloud Office, because we have access to these people all the time. It allows you to do business anywhere, anytime that you have the internet. You can send sales training and company meetings and meet with support staff. And this one's a big one here, Regis Corporate Suites membership. Dwayne, what city are you in?
Lakeland.
Lakeland. So that's Orlando, right?
It's about 30 minutes outside of it.
Okay. Orlando has like 8 or 10 Regis Corporate Suites offices. I don't know about Lakeland for sure, but you, as an EXP member, you're automatically a member of that company. So if you want to meet a client in one of their offices, you can do that for free. You can drink their coffee, use their coffee machines rather, and you know, all that's for free. Now, if you want to use a private office, you can do that, but you have to pay for that yourself, but you get that at a discount. But the cloud business reduces your expenses big time, especially if you own a brokerage, reduces your expenses. Signing up with EXP reduced my office expenses by over $35,000 instantly. All right, so these are the two tools that EXP provides their agent, okay? Now, if you were to go out and buy this yourself, this Conversion is the one that I told you I've used for over 5 years, okay? Commissions Inc. is a good system too. I've just used Conversion. I'm used to that, so I continued with that. But Conversion cost me $1,000 to get it started, and I paid $1,000 a month to have it because I had more than 4 agents. $500 a month is what you would pay from 1 to 4 agents. So, and that doesn't include any leads. That's just to have the system, okay? I'm sure you both can agree that that's expensive. That's a lot of money. Well, If you did sync, it would even cost you more, $1,600 a month. So how much is it going to cost you with EXP? It's going to be free to EXP agents, no startup fee, and it's included in your tech package of $50 a month. Okay? So believe me, these tools, I cannot say enough about this tool. I think you all would understand that customers out there looking to buy a home will buy a home from the first or second agent they think about. That's what Gary Keller says in his book, The Millionaire Agent. I take the second agent out of the equation because they're going to buy the house from the first agent that they think of, as long as that agent's doing their job and responds to them, right? Well, this conversion system helps you to stay in the #1 mindset of your clients in a huge way. Dwayne, have you ever seen a Conversion or Commissions Inc. site?
No, sir.
No, I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind what this thing does for you. The conversion site actually has, I call it a smart computer, because as you're sending emails to your clients, it learns your language, the words that you use. And I use a word, I use a silly word, I say okie dokie a lot, okay? And when the conversion system sends out an email, it'll use that word on it. And it's, you know, so it's really cool. So the people think that I actually sent that email when in fact I didn't. It automatically stays in touch with them regarding the listings that they see. So let's say that they looked up a house and they really liked it, so they saved it. Any listing that they look at more than 4 times or they save, the system will generate an email to them and a text message automatically that says, listen, I noticed you saved this property, or you're showing strong interest in this property. I'll keep my eye on it for you and let you know if it comes off the market. And then when it comes off the market, it'll send another email saying, I just wanted to let you know that house that you liked on 34 Plum Street just went off the market. Sorry about that. You know, that kind of thing. And they think that you're monitoring them and really helping them a lot. I had a customer very recently. She'd been on my site for 2 years. She did not respond to anything that I did for 2 years. And about 6 weeks ago, she contacted me and said, Mr. Hooker, I just wanted to give you a call and let you know I want to use your services to buy a house. And the reason is because you've stayed in touch with me religiously, you've sent me listings, you've responded to my emails, etc. And so I want to buy my house from you, which he did. And what's cool about that, guys, I can tell you, it was the system that was staying in touch with her for the most part. And so I credit the system for that sale. And it happens all the time. I've got so many agents that will tell you similar stories. This here is an example of the conversion site. And this is an example of the Commissions Inc. site. Okay? So let's talk about this gentleman here. Chris was in real estate for 6 years, part-time. And the reason he was part-time is because he couldn't make ends meet selling real estate. So he had to go out and get a full-time job to make ends meet. And the reason he was not successful is because he didn't have the support, the training, or the tools. And you know, you can't have one without the other. It's a full package, and that's what it takes to be successful. So he joined EXP. And when he did, he sold 26 homes in his first year. Okay? With the tools and the support that we provide, we turn average agents into way above average. Chris has been with us for 3 years. He sold $15 million and became an Icon agent with us. That's another program that you can do, and you have to be approved for that, but it's an incredible program. And that's one way to get your CAP back. And Dwayne, I know you probably don't know what the CAP is at this point, but I'll explain that to you in a moment. But so, you know, the system works really good, and so Chris evidently is very happy about being a part of our organization. eXp Realty is an agent-centric company. It's not a broker-centric company. They basically want you to own your own career, your brand, your brokerage, and your life. So let's say that you wanted to brand yourself. And let's say this cluster of people, pictures, is your business card. Everything on this card can be about you and your brand, except in the very bottom corner it has to say powered by eXp Realty. And that's all that eXp requires. And it's not them requiring it, it's the state requiring that. They support you in branding yourself, and they're good with that. All right. Guys, do me a favor, mute your mics unless you have a question, because I'm getting some feedback all of a sudden for some reason.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead and mute your microphone.
Use my what?
I'm getting some feedback. Just press on the green button. Mute your microphone. There you go. That's good. Okay. If you have a question, go ahead and unmute it, and then we'll go. But I'm getting some feedback, so I just need to do that. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about our stock acquisition program. This is a big one, okay? All right. Remember I told you that we have, I call it kind of like a 401k program. eXp will take 5% of your gross commissions, and they'll purchase stock for you at a 20% discount, okay? And that's huge. Over time, it adds up big time. In the last 2 months, I've accumulated over $1,600 in stock, and it's worth about $2,100. So that's really exciting to me. I get really fired up about that because this is something that no other company provides their agents. The second way that that you can purchase stock is obviously over the counter, and you can do it yourself at whatever the price is for the given day. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Every year, you're going to sell your very first home. And when you close that very first home every year, they're going to give you 75 shares of stock. Now, right now, they're giving 75 shares of stock. But as the company grows, this number will go down. And the idea is that as this goes down, the value will go up, and the value that they're giving you will be about the same. Now, there's a reason that they're giving you this stock. Whoops. Sorry, guys. There's a reason they're giving you this stock, and I want you to remember this, because I'm going to bring it up again later in the presentation. All right, the second thing you do, when you cap, they're going to give you another 250 shares of stock, and this falls in that same category. The third way to earn stock is if you bring an agent on board, once they close their first house, you're going to get another 250 shares of stock on that person. So I think you can see how rapidly this stock grows. Now, let me tell you, right now we're trading at about $2.80 a share. Guys, can you give me just a minute, please?
Sure.
Give me just 1 minute. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. All right, guys, I'm so sorry. Just to tell you what just happened, my lawn care guy, his truck broke down, so my yard is huge, and I was waiting for the neighbor's lawn care person to show up, which he did. So I wanted to grab him. He's going to mow my yard. So before he left, I apologize for that. Okay.
No problem.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. So what I was going to tell you is that right now we're trading at $2.80 a share. We are at about 3,300 agents across U.S. right now. Keller Williams built their company to 2,000 agents. It took them 14 years to do that. We built our company to 2,400 agents in 7 years. RE/MAX and Keller Williams currently is trading around the $60 mark. So, although I can't tell you, hey, we're going to be there. I can't say that. Nobody can do that. But you can surmise that that's what's going to happen. So you can see how this program in itself can help you retire in a big way. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is huge. I mean, when you've got this kind of stock being rolled in, and then you can do anything you want with that stock once you're vested in the company, which is 3 years. Now, this stock up here, where you're going to buy it at a 20% discount, and the stock here, if you wanted to buy it over the counter, you can do anything you want with that stock right now and diversify that, whatever you want to do. This stock here and here, you have to be vested for 3 years. And the vesting starts when you come on board EXP. It doesn't start when the stock is purchased for you, okay? So in other words, if you've been with me 3 years and then you bring another agent on board and get the 250 shares of stock from that agent, you can do what you want with that stock right then, okay? So just so everybody's clear on that. All right. Capping is when you have paid $16,000 into the company. So you start out at an 80-20 split. So when that 20% equals $16,000, you're going to cap and you're going to go to 100% commission. Keller Williams is $23,000, and they start you out at a 70-30 split. So this is pretty good idea, pretty good deal. So an ICON program says that if you cap, once you do that, if you sell 20 more transactions of any size, any type, the company is going to send you a letter saying that we would like you to become an ICON agent. And you have to be approved for that. But if they approve you, you're going to get your $16,000 cap back in the form of stock. Okay? They're going to allow you to use 1/4 of that stock right here and now. And the other 3/4 you cannot use until you've been vested for 3 years. Scott did this in his 3rd year, or Chris rather did this in his 3rd year. And the reason they want to approve you is because they're going to ask you to attend the seminars and speak and maybe do some training and stuff like that. So that's why. But that's a phenomenal program. And with the tools and the support that you have that we provide you, this is very attainable. Okay, so now let's talk about the revenue sharing. Does anybody have any questions about the stock so far?
Yep.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, revenue sharing is really cool. Let's say that, Dwayne, you brought me on board and I sold a house that paid a $10,000 gross commission check, okay? EXP is going to give me my $8,000 because I'm on an 80-20 split, and they're going to keep $2,000, right? Then they're going to say, who brought me on board? They're going to say, Dwayne did. So they're going to take 3.5% of the total gross commission, and they're going to write you a check for $350. But that $350 is not going to come out of my $8,000. It's going to come out of their $2,000. All right?
Okay.
Okay? You're going to make money on all of my closings up until the point that I cap. So every year, you can make $2,800 passive money on my closings each and every year. Now, if you have 10 agents and they're capping, That's $28,000 a year just on that level. Okay?
Okay.
We go 7 levels deep. So it gets better. I'm not going to sit here and twiddle my thumbs. I'm going to start bringing agents on board. Now, to give you an example, I signed up the middle of May. I have 13 personal agents already signed up. I have 23 in my group, and since the middle of May. Okay? Agents are craving this program. This is not like anything they've ever seen. So, I'm going to go out and I'm going to find Thomas, and I'm going to bring Thomas on board. And that means you, Dwayne, have the ability to earn $3,200 a year on Thomas if he caps. Okay? We go 7 levels deep. Now, what you have to know is you're going to get paid on the very first person that you bring on board. Now, as I said, Dwayne, let's say you brought me on board and you didn't bring anybody else on board, and then I brought Thomas on board. You're not going to get paid on Thomas until you have 5 personally sponsored agents. You're going to get paid level 3 when you have 10, level 4, 15, 20, 25. Level 7 is the highest paid position, and you have to have 40 in order to get paid on that. Okay? Do you get that? Understand that? Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. All right. So let's move on. And this is how you can make an extra $3,000 a month passive income. Very easy to attain and really cool. Okay, so if you do 6 agents personally. Now, Dwayne, let me ask you this. Would $3,000 a month of passive income make a difference in your life?
Oh, sure.
Sure it would. So if it takes you a year to do this, would it be worth it?
Yeah.
You have to do, bring 6 agents on board that cap and teach them to do the same. So you've only got a total of 12 agents. In other words, each one of these bring on 1, or one of them brings on 6, or 2 of them bring on 3. It doesn't matter how it works. 12 agents in your first and second level that cap. That's $36,000 a year passive income, $3,000 a month. Plus, you would have been given 1,500 shares of stock.
If they cap.
If they cap. Now,
And if not,
I want you to hear me, guys. I call these fantasy numbers. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to show you reality. Now, why I call these fantasy numbers is because, according to the National Association of Realtors, the average agent sells $1 million in real estate, about 7 deals a year. Okay? So we know that agents don't cap. So we're going to base it on reality in a moment. Now, I will say this. With the tools and support, we turn average agents to above average agents. So a lot more percentage of agents will cap than if they didn't have these tools. So, but like I said, we're going to get real. Now, they say, hey, bring on 10 and teach them to do, and that's $348,000 a year. I don't even like to discuss this because of that very reason, okay? But look at this number here. That's only 110 agents. Now, Wilco Raviston, who joined last year, he's been with us for only 1 year, has 210 plus agents in his group. So he's making some good money. Now, let's say that they only did $1 million a year. You're talking over $100,000 a year in income anyway.
Terry,
If you did this. Yes, sir.
what is it they don't cap there and there's no meat on the bone, right?
Oh, yes, there is. That you get paid on everything that they close.
But not
Follow
on this
me?
program.
Pardon me?
But not on this program.
Yes, on this program. Yes. In other words, you had 10 agents that paid $2,800 because they capped, right?
Okay.
So let's say they half capped. They only did 1.3 million in sales. You would have earned half of this, $1,400.
Okay.
So they don't pay this when the agent caps. they pay it ongoing. But what the reason they mention the cap, Thomas, is because when they cap, then the money stops until the following year. So this is the maximum amount per year you can make on each agent. And this is the maximum amount per year you can make on each agent in level 2. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go on. All right. This gentleman, Ian, he was kind of like me. He had his own company for 5 years. He had 17 agents underneath him, and he was not doing well at all. And in fact, losing money. You know, they say the average real estate company makes between 2 and 4% profit. That's astonishing for me. But anyway, he got involved with EXP, and in 2 years he had over 100 agents on board. Now, it took him 2 years because Ian didn't want to build this. He didn't want to build this. And I met a guy in our Orlando meeting. We had a Florida-Orlando meeting, which we will have again in a few months. And this guy's been with EXP for 2.5 years, and he does not like to talk to agents, and he just doesn't do that. He has 12 personals on board in a year and a half because they asked him about it. And he said, well, just here, I'll give you this guy's name. You go call and talk to him. And that's what he did. So if somebody comes up to you and says, you know, what's this all about? And you don't want to talk to them about it, you give them my name. I'll talk to them. I'll show them this presentation. And when they sign up, I'll sign them up under you. Okay? So it happens. Even when you don't want to build it that way. So his revenue share is well over $100,000. He's lowered his overhead dramatically, and things have changed a lot for Ian. He's in his 3rd year. He has over 190 agents in his company. His 3rd year. All right, 4th year, 350 agents. You can imagine what his revenue share check is now. They say that we average, Keller Williams averages $50 a year per agent. That's what their profit sharing check nets their agents. We average $1,000 a year per agent. Okay? He brought this lady on board. She's just a dynamo. She sells over $90 million a year in real estate. And she doesn't sell any of it herself. She is she generates leads, pays for leads, and distributes them among her agents, and that's what they close every year. You can see what she's done. 200 agents in 3 years. Okay? So, and she didn't want to build it either, by the way. She focused on the sales side of it, as you can see, which is why she does so much volume. All right, this is the state of Texas, and these numbers are a little old. The numbers are actually bigger now, but this was about what we had in each city in the state of Texas. Here's Florida. Right now, we have about 330 agents in the state of Florida, out of 221,000+ just in the state of Florida. Now, that's important because I want you to know, if I was a broker, when I owned my Axiom company, if I wanted to bring on an agent in the state of Georgia or California or New York, I would have to go there, get licensed in that state, open up a brick and mortar office, and then hire that agent. Well, you don't have to do that. You can bring on agents anywhere in the country, Mexico and 2 parts of Canada, and EXP will take on the expense of doing that for you.
Okay, question. How long did it take for Florida to get 300 agents?
We just moved into this state. Let me think. 6 months, maybe? 5 months, 6 months? That'd be a good question for Wilco, but I'm thinking 5 or 6 months, Thomas. It didn't take long for us to get up there, and we're growing rapidly. So, where was I? Anyway, we have, like I said, about 330 agents out of 221. Oh, I was talking about bringing on agents in other states. So if you know somebody in another state that might be interested in this, you know they're in real estate, you can talk to them, and if they join, they're under you and they're part of your organization. Now this is where the cloud office, the cloud campus really comes in handy. As you start to grow, I already have agents outside of the state myself, and I just started in the middle of May. So I can meet those agents on the cloud office. We all can sit around a table, which we've already done a couple times, and have a meeting and talk about strategies and stuff like that. And it feels like you're actually there with them. So they get a sense that they're not alone. And that's why this works so well. All right. So what's it cost to get started in EXP? When Remax approached me, they wanted $42,000 for me to convert my office. Keller Williams wanted $23,000. That's not what it's going to cost you. One-time startup fee of $99. Now, I think you're going to agree that they're going to give you a lot of value for that $99. First of all, that includes your first month's tech fee of $50. But they're also going to give you 1,000 real professional business cards, double-sided, high-gloss, very classy cards, I promise you. The folders, again, they're going to give you a dozen folders, which are also high-gloss, very thick paper, business card pocket in them, very, very nice. They're going to give you the lead generation site conversion or commissions Inc., which would normally cost you $1,000 right there. They're going to give you your own WordPress website. This is your personal website that you would do your blogging on and stuff like that. When you get that site set up, you can utilize the conversion site by putting a widget on that conversion site onto your WordPress website. So now it's a capture system. I don't know if you guys understand that, but that's what it is. Okay, they're also going to give you a Google business site, an eFax account, and as I said, it includes your first month's technology fee. So the technology fee, $50 a month, and that includes the cloud office as well as the use of the Conversion or Commissions Inc. site. Now, remember the 75 shares of stock that I told you about in the beginning, Dwayne?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is why they give that to you. Because after you close your first transaction of the year, they're going to take $420 education fee out of your check. And they're going to give you that stock to offset that cost. Now, it's going to be worth more than this some years, and some years it's going to be worth less than this. But the idea is to offset it. So basically, you're in business with EXP for a $50 a month tech package. Okay? All right. Commissions are 80-20 split until you cap. We don't have any royalties or franchise fees. You cap when the company is paid $16,000. All right? When you cap, you're awarded the 250 shares of stock. All right? Now, you're going to pay, as you close something, you're going to pay a transaction fee of $55. That's a $25 broker review and a $30 E&O. Errors and omission. That caps at $500 a year. Once you cap and go to 100% commission, your transaction fee, they add another $250 to that. Until you've had 20 more transactions, then the transaction fee goes down to $75. Okay? Anybody have any questions about that?
No.
Okay. All right. These are some of the logos that we use, but as I said, you can do your own logo too. You can brand yourself. EXP Cloud is where all of our tools are. A lot of tools here. You can join by going to join.exprealty.com. When you fill out that paperwork, by the way, that doesn't join you. That just gets the ball rolling. Your current brokerage knows nothing about it, and your license is not transferred at this point. You're just telling them who your sponsor is and that you're interested in coming on board. Once you do that, that generates an email to you, and that's going to have the paperwork. Once you fill that out, then you are transferred over to us. Okay?
What association do you have to be a part of?
The same one you're part of now, Dwayne.
Okay, so be with Lakefront Association.
Correct. So if you're in an area that we are not a member of that association, then we will join that association.
Okay.
Okay. eXp World Holdings is our mother company. Now, another site you want to do, the Cloud Office that I'm about to show you guys, you can go in there and actually do that now without being a member of eXp, and that's going to invite.exprealty.com and become your icon. That's really cool. You can start walking around there and seeing what it's all about. Maybe attend a couple classes if you want to. All right, so I told you I was going to be real with you with the money, right? Go ahead and unmute your mic there, Dwayne.
Okay.
Dwayne, I want to ask you, how many houses a year would you say the average agent sells?
Probably 6 to 8.
All right, I'm going to say 5. Is that being fair?
Sure.
What's the average price of the house?
About 145.
All right, in your area, it's only 145?
Well, if you want to go on the average agent, yeah. I mean, your extraordinary ones are probably in the 2s and 3s, but your average agent's probably more in the mid 1s.
Okay, I'm going to do 145. I've never done that. I usually do 180 because our average here is like 210. But 145, that's cool at 3%. Okay? Now, how many agents do you think you can share this with in a year?
Probably 6 to 10. Let's just say 8.
I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this is a 5-year program. Okay?
Okay.
So that's 25 agents in 5 years. Now, like I said to you, I've got 13 personals, and I just started in the middle of May. But let's say it takes you 5 years to get to 25 agents. Okay? Now, I want you to ask yourself if this would be worth it, if it took you that long. So, because you have 25 agents, you're going to unlock the positions all the way down to 6, right?
Okay.
In level 2, we're going to say that those folks didn't do as good as you. In level 3, they didn't do as good as them. In level 4, they didn't do as good as them. And then level 5 and 6 only did 1 each. Okay?
Okay.
So when this happens, this is what your revenue share check would look like. Down here in the bottom. It would look like this. Now that's real. And that doesn't include the stock they're going to give you, and it doesn't include your personal closings. So let's go one more, okay? Let's say you only did 15, which means you wouldn't get paid here, and you wouldn't get paid here. And this took you 5 years to do this, by the way. And we're going to lower that to 1, we're going to lower that to 2, and we're going to lower this to 3. Okay? This is what your check would look like then. So if it took you 5 years to do it, is that worth it? Would that help you retire?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Now, Dwayne, this is every year you get this, not just 1 year. You get this every year.
Right.
Now, let me ask you something. Once this came into play, do you think there's any chance it's not going to continue to grow?
No, it'd keep growing.
Of course. Now, I'm going to show you if I was consistent with 10 a year. So I did 50. Okay? And we say they did 4, they did 3, they did 2, and because I have 50, I'm all the way down to 7 now, and I'm only going to put 1. Okay? Gene Fredericks has already surpassed this. Okay? Now, let me tell you, Gene Fredericks was with Keller Williams for 25 years. He built the entire east coast of the United States, or west coast of the United States, I'm sorry, for Keller Williams. He had over 40,000 agents under his umbrella, of which he brought personally 155 agents on board. They were paying him $250,000 a year profit sharing for that. This is much less people, thousands less, and look at his revenue share check. That's why he quit and came to us.
Gotcha.
Do either of you have any questions about this so far?
No.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you the cloud office real quick. And we're going to walk in the auditorium a little bit, and then we're going to walk into agent services and transaction.
I would have a question, but I'm going to send you a link, Terry, because there's
Yes,
somebody on YouTube which did the same thing, and he's talking about, I think, 240 agents before he ever gets that kind of numbers.
What are you talking about?
Wait.
With the,
On the revenue.
you're talking about with the revenue share calculator?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let me go out of the cloud here. Let's talk about that. Okay, so
Let me
he's
find
talking
it.
about
Let
240
me find
agents.
it. I'm right now on YouTube. I'm trying to find it.
That's okay. So he's talking about 240 agents to reach a $3 million number.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, this is more than that. Okay, let me explain this, how this works. Okay, hold on one second.
But
Now-
I must say, it is from DM Real Estate Group, but I put in EXP Reality, and that's where it came in from DM Real Estate Group, and it's ridiculous.
Okay, I'd have to see it to
I'll
really
send you a
understand.
link. I'll send you a link.
Okay, so you're saying that no, see, I don't think you're understanding this. This is okay. This is 50 up here, right?
Yep.
And then each one of them did 4. So that's 250 agents right there. Okay? And those 200 did 3. So that's another 600 agents. And those 600 did 2. That's another 1,200 agents. And then 1, 1, and 1. So 1,200. So we're talking less than 10,000 agents to make, instead of having 40,000 agents making 250,000 a year, he did it with 10,000 agents making $3,148,000 a year. Okay? So, you know, these numbers kind of have a tendency to blow your mind because you're thinking, you know, right now you're thinking about bringing your first agent on board, to think of it in these numbers, which is why I did 15. So I do 15, okay? I take these numbers away. I change this to 3, change this to 2, and change this to 1. Because you're only got 15, you only get paid on these levels. Now, 15, let's look at that. Bear with me a second. 15 plus 45 plus 90
Hey, Terry.
plus 90. So this is only 240 agents total in your group, of which you've only brought on 15. Now, Wilco has already reached this in a year. So that's why Wilco's check is over $8,000 a month. See the number? So that's more realistic. That's what you can focus on.
Hey, Terry.
Right? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. Can we finish this up another time?
Sure, Dwayne. Sure.
Yeah. Let me get back with you at another time.
Okay, that's fine. The only thing I got to show is the cloud office. That's it.
Okay.
So you basically saw it anyway.
Okay.
I'll send you an email with some links on it, links that you can check out. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, Dwayne. Thank you. Okay, so you get that now, Thomas?
Yes, I'm sending you a link. You can look at it and let me know what you think. But keep on going. Keep on going.
Okay, so let's see. The only thing now is the cloud office. Let's see. Okay, so this is our cloud office. So today, let's see what kind of classes are being here today. So you've got quite a few. 4-step plan for success. These are great classes, by the way, and that's taking place at 3 o'clock. Here's one, 1 o'clock, 2 at 1 o'clock. Social media, growing your business. You know, these 2 classes right here, Thomas, when you do come on board, and if you haven't done the avatar yet, you really should. And go ahead and attend these classes now, because these are good classes. If you've already decided to do this, this would give you a little head start, okay?
Okay.
So let's go into agent services real quick and talk to them. Oops. There we go. Good morning, ladies. How's everybody doing? Hi.
Doing great. How about you?
Wonderful. I have Thomas on the phone on the deal. Hi there. Can you tell him a little bit about what you do for us, please?
Sure. Hi, Thomas. This is Agent Services.
Hi, Trey.
We get your initial application here. We receive that. We also send that for broker approval. And then we also send out your contracts and your welcome emails with all your logins in our systems, as well as your business card voucher. Even after you're officially onboarded, you can always stop in and ask questions. If we don't know the answer, we can definitely find the department or person that can help you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Get down tonight. There you go.
Have a good day.
You do too. I wish I could really dance like that.
Right.
All right. All right, now we're going to head over to transaction team, Thomas. Here we go. Here's transaction team. Hello.
Good morning, Terry.
How are you?
Great. How about yourself?
Fantastic. If I was any better, I couldn't stand myself.
That's funny. How can we help you?
I have Thomas on the line, and he's taking a look at EXP. Would you mind sharing with him what you all do for us, please?
Well, absolutely. Hi, Thomas. So this is the transaction office. We're here from 8:30 a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And we're here to assist the agents as well as the brokers all the way from the time you upload your SkySlope file until it closes to make sure you're in EXP compliance as well as state compliance so that you get paid as soon as possible after closing. We're available if you have any questions about SkySlope, your commission, needed disbursement demand sent out, anything like that. We're here to assist you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day.
All right, you as well. Thank you for coming in, Terry.
You're welcome. Have a blessed day.
Like great information. You miss a lot when you don't go.
Okay, I
You don't
muted
hear what's
myself
going on.
now. The person you're hearing talk
So
is
again, lots
Elizabeth
of
Burns.
people speak,
She's
talk
one of the
about
big
tools
ones
that
that
are going
helps
to be
us a lot.
offered.
And she's doing the training here. This is our auditorium.
Really just great information. Any
One of the
teams that
training
have come on
sessions that
board,
we're doing right now.
maybe a new state that is being
You
opened
can
up.
see all the people. There's
We've been talking
64
a lot about
agencies
Canada
that
lately, just
currently
because we're doing a lot in in
checking this
Alberta.
out.
And
So
then,
now I'm going to walk out the campus. Okay. Do you have any questions, Thomas?
No, not at all. The only question I have is that I just sent you a text message.
Yeah, I got the link here to YouTube. Let me click on that right now.
Yes, because it's totally confused. It's like 420 agents for $326,000. That's ridiculous. I mean, compared to your numbers.
Yeah.
Can't open it?
How old is the video?
October 26, 15.
15. Okay. They may have changed things since then, but I don't know. I'll have to find out.
Look at your cell phone. I gave you a screenshot.
Oh, look at my cell phone. Okay, hold on.
Good afternoon. This is Donovan with the Donovan Mitchell Real Estate Group, coming to you live from Gilbertsville, PA on October 26th at 3:57 p.m. The reason I created
I'm not sure what this is.
Wait a minute, I got a new link. Try this one now. It opened by me.
Yep, it's opening.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
This is Donovan with the Donovan Mitchell Real Estate Group, coming to you live from Gilbertsville, PA on October 26th at 3:57 p.m.
You can move forward to 8 minutes and 24 seconds.
What's that?
You can move forward to 8 minutes and 24 seconds.
Okay.
Agents asking me about the eXp Realty Revenue Share Program and how it might compare to other programs they've heard about out there, like the Keller Williams Profit Share Program. So what I wanted to do, this turns into a 5-year plan, and I'm not looking at doing this in 2 years. Let's say I'm looking at 40 people that I've attracted to the company in over 5 years. That's only 8 people a year. Watch what happens to this number. $896,000 a year.
Look at the numbers. It's ridiculous.
Very conservative numbers. Over a 5-year plan, you can surely
Yeah, but
bring on
no,
40
but
people.
he's not doing. This isn't 40 that
Surely
did
bring
20
on
each.
20 people. These numbers can just keep going and going and going.
So
You've been
this
in
is a
real estate
total
for a
of.
while,
Hold on a
and
second.
you're still selling 20, 25 houses.
Let me see this. Hold on a second.
Okay.
See, what I'm showing you is the 25 each did 4. This, he's not showing you that. What he's showing you is 40, 60, 100, 160, and 80. He's showing you 240 agents. Right? So 20, 40,
60,
56.
that's 100, 180, 240, 320, 400 agents.
2,400. No. How many?
400 agents.
400 agents with 896. And then I was showing you, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that screen. Okay, I said, let's see. What did I say? I said 50, right?
Yeah.
And I said 4, and I said 3, and I said 2, 1, 1, and 1. So this is a lot more agents than what he's talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you've got, let's see, 50 times 4 is 200. That's 250. Oops, the wrong screen.
No. Huh?
50, and each one of those did 4. So that's another 200. So that's 250. So there's 200 here. So that's a total of 250, right? Can you add those up while I figure this?
Sure.
And those 200 each did 3 each. So that's another 600.
Okay.
Okay? Those 600 did 2 each. So that's another 1,200. Another 1,200 here because those 1,200 did 1 each. Another 1,200 here and another 1,200 here. How many is that?
I stopped by the third one. So you think that that's a serious number? If you only have 300 agents in Florida, I mean that's hard to get, right?
No, no. You have to look at where we're going to be 5 years from now. We're going to have it over. We're not talking about just in Florida too, Thomas. We're talking about all over the country.
I hear you.
Keller Williams, Gary Keller had over. I mean, Gene Fredericks had over 40,000 agents under his umbrella. The Keller organization has like 290,000 agents across the United States. I mean, the numbers are astronomical. So is this possible in the future? Absolutely. I mean, Gene Fredericks is going to do this. I mean, it's astronomical. So yeah, but that's why I said, that's why I like to keep it, basic. Okay? So here, if we say 15, you only did 15 in 5 years, and they only did 3 and they only did 2. How many agents is that now? And they only did 1.
Okay, where I'm confused, where I was confused, it was like I produced 15, and those 15 produced 3, and those 3 produces 1, and those 2 produces 1. Okay, that's a difference. I got you. But
yeah. So here, and Wilco's already surpassed this.
But it
in
says,
less than a year.
Terry, it says, will your new agents introduce 3? So agents makes it 3.
No, yes, but 3 each.
It doesn't say so.
No, but that's what it is. So that's plus 45. That's a total of. What's going on?
$135, something like that.
Huh?
Something like 135 agents.
135 could make over 100,000 a year. Now, what you have to understand is how this works, Thomas, is Wilco has only brought on 23 agents. And he already has over 205 agents in his group. And the only reason his check is not more than 8,700 is because he's only brought 23 agents on board. So he's not getting paid here, but he has many agents here already. So as soon as he gets 2 more, his check is going to change. So just to give you an example, let's look at this and see. This is what he would get paid now, okay? 227. But
Terry,
let's
I'm
say
not concerned about my person to recruit agents. I'm concerned about agents recruiting the other agents.
Well, will they all do it? No, they won't. That's why we work the way that we do, and we work together. You might bring on 10 agents, and only 2 of them want to build it.
That'd be stupid. That's where the money is.
That's where the money is. But the stock, not all agents want to do it. But that's why we say, Thomas, if it took you 5 years to do this, is it worth it?
Sure, it's always worth it. I'm just thinking about how can I convince somebody, even if I throw him some eggs in the basket, that he understands the monthly check that he will receive by doing this.
Oh, yeah. Well, we get them to understand. Believe me, more of your agents will build it with you than you realize. I mean, believe me. Look,
Hey, I can only tell you what's happening with Weichert at the office. I'm looking at it. I'm 2 years with Weichert, and I'm like, really? Interesting. Wow. Okay.
What do you mean?
I mean, they go into real estate, and they're actually, say, 3 months in class to get everything done, and 4 weeks later they just walk away. They can't do it. And I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about 60 agents a month.
Right. Well, I mean, they do it though, Thomas, because they don't really have the entrepreneur in them. But when you show this to agents that do, I mean, you're looking for good agents. You're looking for producers. But the thing is, I've got agents that were not producing in my business right now that are now producing. I've got agents, before they came on board with me, were selling 2 and 3 houses a year. The one girl come on board, Lorraine Shepard, she was with, not Weichert, she was with, we call it the Blue Roof. Real Living.
Never heard of them.
She was with them for 2.5 years and only sold 1 house. Her first year with me, she sold 12. Her second year, she sold 16.
How can you sell just 1 house and be still in business? Doesn't make no sense.
Because the company she was with was not providing her both the tools, the support, and the training.
Yeah, but Weichert doesn't provide anything for me, and I'm doing everything on my own, and I have around 30 sales in 1 year.
Because you're a go-getter. Other people don't know how to do that, Thomas. They don't know how. But that's why we say average agents. So if you brought on 10 or 20 people like you, this check is going to be much higher because these aren't going to be average agents anymore. They're all going to be cappers. So let's say that they all capped. So $500,000 average, which we know isn't going to happen, but let's say they all capped and you had the same amount of people. Look at how this check changes.
Okay, I'll move to California, then it will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we use the simple numbers, the low numbers, to show you this is real, what I'm showing you. This, you'd like it to be real, but chances are it's not going to be with those kind of numbers. So, but, okay?
Okay.
All right, my friend. Well, I am here, Thomas. Should you need anything, please let me know, okay?
Will do. Give me time till Tuesday next week. Hopefully I have my license back because I screwed up. I came back from New York. I was on a road trip, and my 45 hours was to March 31st, and I thought I can walk through, and I was slam dunked. I'm like, shoot. So I have to start all over again. Whatever.
All right, brother.
Okay. Talk
All
to you
right,
soon.
Tom. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.